Hiyo. Today I'm going to walk you through registering for your 2-day test before you return to the UK, show you the places you can go, the costs of some of these things, and actually take you step by step on registering so you know everything you have to fill out. Hope it's going to be useful. Let's go. Hey up YouTube, it's Theme Park Bazza here with
Mrs. Bazza.
Okay, Mrs. Bazza, see you later. So Mrs. Bazza's just gone off to put dinner on. Today is Sunday the 5th of December. Just going to do a quick vlog because on Tuesday next week on the 7th there's new rules coming in around tests required to travel from the USA to the UK. So in this vlog I'm going to try and help you out around the options you have and try and save you some money. Instead of paying this, pay this, because there's a number of options. The one thing when I kick off this vlog, don't worry about getting a test. You're in the land of private healthcare. There's 1,000 people out there who will give you a test, and there's 1,000 people who will want to charge you a lot of money for giving you a test. So I've been doing some research today for some of my friends who are out here, and I'm going to share that with you, and hopefully it's useful. I'll walk you through the options. There'll be a lot of links below in this vlog through the options of places to go get tests, some of the prices I've found, and then my personal recommendations to you as to where to go and how to get tests, but you've got to make the final decision at the end. So let's start with the, everything I'm giving you today is as today, the 5th of December. Could change after that, but as it's starting on the 7th, I would assume it's going to stay as it is, but just take that with a caveat. And on the PC here, I've got a number of different screens open, and I'll put some close-ups on the screen as we go. So let's start with the UK site and the current rules as of today. So I'm now in gov.uk, and if we look at travel to England from another country for coronavirus, changes to pre-departure testing from 4 AM Tuesday, December the 7th, 2021. You must take a test within 2 days before your travel to England. And that's normally, I always work on the flight time and try and take it 48 hours before the flight time. It says 2 full days, so I'm not quite sure how that works, but I'd always try and do 48 hours before the flight time. Some people, including children under the age 11 are exempt from taking the test. Go to gov.uk, you get all the details there. But if we scroll down to what type of test you need, it says this is what you need to qualify under fully vaccinated rules to travel to England. For fully vaccinated, you've got to book and pay for your COVID-19 PCR test to be taken after you arrive in England, and complete a passenger locator form. But then it changes, as in from 4 AM Tuesday, December the 7th, you must also take a PCR or lateral flow, LFD COVID-19 test within 2 days before you travel to England. Read more about it and it takes you through the page. So it's very important. A lot of people think it's just PCR, and if you go to some of the websites they say you have to have a PCR, but it is a lateral flow as well. And why that's important is lateral flows tend to be cheaper, and you can get rapid antigen lateral flow tests that will return the results in sort of an hour, whereas for PCRs it's typically same day. Your choice which one you want to go for, but both are available to you. I got asked one question, well, what happens if I fail the test? Well, you can't fly. The way they're doing it, and they have done it since COVID came out, is they put the responsibility on the airline. So if you can't prove you are negative, they won't let you on the plane. What that means is it takes some of the responsibility off immigration at the other end. I know when I flew to the UK and Chris lost in Florida through to the UK, they didn't check our vaccination credentials as we entered the UK. They check them before they allow us to get on the plane. So they're basically saying to the airlines, it's your responsibility. So if you're using something like Verifly, and I'll put a link up here to when I did Verifly for my trip to the UK earlier this year, then those are the apps, and or Virgin have their own, or you have to have a printed copy and show it to actually get on the plane. But yeah, if you're positive, you have to stay here and self-isolate. So for anybody who's over here already on holiday, you don't really have a choice. You have to do the test. For those of you who are thinking, well, should I still go? Is it a risk? Yeah, it's a risk. You've got to weigh it up yourself. Do I want to cancel my holiday? Do I still want to go? It's your choice at the end of the day. I was in Canada recently and I had to make that choice, and it is a lot more stressful knowing that you have to take the test. Just like when you're coming out here, if you don't pass a negative test, you can't get on the plane and fly to the USA. So it is a lot more stressful, but only you can make the choice if that's something you want to manage and handle, because these rules are currently in place for who knows how long. So rapid flow or or the PCR. The difference I think with the antigen rapid flow is, well, I know, is it's just like a swab up here at the end of your nose. They don't try and pick your brain out like they do with the PCR. So what I would say is, when you Google, you know, can I get a test over here, the answer is yes. And as I say, I've seen prices vary from $150 to $500 for a test. And all the tests are valid, and all those companies doing them are valid. But as it's private healthcare out here, people can charge what they want for tests, and all of them will work and all of them will be good. But at the end of the day, some of the bigger companies I'm going to recommend are cheaper because of scale, volume of scale. They have more places, they have more test sites, but you can choose which you want to have from that perspective. The one thing it does say, I don't think I read it on the UK one, is it has to be a private test. There you go. You cannot use NHS test for a PCR test. You must use a private test provider. What that means is you can't bring your antigen tests with you in your suitcase and do them yourself. They have to be done by a company. What they're looking for is a letterhead with the company name on and the tester and when it was done. So it validates it is a valid test. So you're not going to get away with just doing it yourself and, you know, taking a photo and sending it to a site. It has to be supervised from that perspective. And everyone I'm giving you here will be a supervised one. So when we look at testing over here in the UK, in the USA, and if I can just get to the right side I was looking for, I'll send you a link below, which is from oscala.org, and it's the COVID testing places in Florida, and it's basically what they call community testing locations. So these are the ones that are going to be the cheaper option for you for going there, and I'll read them down, but you'll see them on the screen here. There's Normie Health walk-up testing, CVS Pharmacy, Walgreens Pharmacy. So you know they're like the two biggest pharmacies in the US, and they have the most sites, the most available time slots, tend to be the cheapest as well for doing that. Advent Health Center, Express Urgent Care. Well, you can read the list. I'll put a link to the list, and as I'm scrolling down, you will see the list here. Urgent Care, Kissimmee, Oscala Health Services, Urgent Med Care, Prescriptions Unlimited. By the way, you're probably going to have to pay for these and claim them back on your insurance. I don't know if you can claim back. That's up to you folks to work out, unfortunately. But a lot of these you're going to have to pay for over here. Now, I did Google some others, and I've got some price on these, but I Googled some of the other testing places, and here's some more screenshots. Some of them are saying you have to can only have a PCR for flying, and we know that's not the case. You can do antigen. And you'll see some of these things here. If you're after same-day tests for PCR in clinic without insurance, they're talking around $245 to $295 a person. If you want a 30-minute rapid test, then they're talking in the clinic $400 a person. So I say prices up to $500 I have seen. So here's just another random one I picked with some pricing on as well. So you can have an appointment here. So a rapid antigen test, there's Fast Test Now type place. If you want a rapid antigen test here, it's they're saying $89, which is a good price. This is Fast Test Now. They have also PCR tests. If you want it next day, $149. If you want it the same day, $199. If you want it with a QR code, so you can use it in some of these apps, they want $249 up to $395. So I'm not going to say which one you have to choose. I'm going to let you know who I've used when I've traveled to the UK and walk you through that. But there's a lot of different options of places, and I'll put all these in the link below. If you're really stuck, I would say you're really stuck, it's another option. Orlando International Airport, MCO, has its own testing location near in the A terminal before you go through security. It's run by Advent Health. As this with most of them I'm going to walk you through, you have to go through a online booking. They don't charge you before you go, but you have to make a reservation. And then that is done at the airport before you fly. And I've checked the price of that one out, and they only take cash anyway, they don't do insurance. If you want a rapid antigen lateral flow, it's $179, and if you want a rapid PCR, it's $199. So that is an option for you if you want to do it at MCO. Challenge there, depending where you are. If you've got a rental car, I guess MCO or even going to CVS and Walgreens isn't an issue. If you don't, you're going to have to go to the airport, park, or get a shuttle to the airport, or an Uber, which could be $20, $30 each way. You're then going to have to go and have your test and then get a Uber or whatever back. So you got to think about that in the overall cost. It may cost you another $80 to get there and back. Whereas if it's a Walgreens that is round the corner or maybe walking distance, then, you know, think of that when you're thinking of the overall price for doing it, because at the end of the day, you've got to add it all together and how many people are in the party. So I'm going to try and find some of the more cost-effective ones for you in there. And the one that I've used before that has been very successful for me has been CVS. So CVS is one of the two pharmacies. Again, you can choose what you want, but I'll walk you through registering with CVS. It's one of the two pharmacies, big ones like Walgreens. They have a lot of places, maybe 4 or 5 around Orlando. So don't think you can walk into any Walgreens or CVS. It's only certain ones. And a lot of times they'll only do it on the drive-through. So you have to check that as well, because you're back to the same thing as, do I need to get an Uber? You can't walk through the drive-through yourself unless you're doing a Norman Collier with the wind-down window and pretend you're actually in a car. So I'm going to walk you through some screenshots now of how you register for CVS, and it'll be very similar for many others, so you know what information you have to have available, and there's quite a bit of information they want from you. So here we are on the main CVS screen, and it's very similar to screens that you'll see from many other vendors, but you're going to go to COVID-19 testing and results, wherever that link is on here. Use your zip code, which is the zip code of where your hotel is, and hit schedule a test. And it's going to ask you some questions, and the way I normally answer the first one here in travel and exposure is, are you seeking a test to prevent possible spread of COVID-19 for future travel? The answer is yes, because you're traveling. Are you seeking prevent possible after being in a place where social distance is possible? You can see all these questions here. So what I'm kind of saying is, and no matter how the questions are framed, you want to be able to say, hey, yeah, I need the test because I'm going to be traveling. Not really, assuming you have not been infected or you haven't got COVID, you answer the results honestly to yourself. But this is really going in for that type of thing. And then what it's going to do specifically in this particular website is give you 2 options. Do you want a 1 to 2 day return of a PCR test, or do you want rapid test results? We want rapid test in this case because we have to have them within that time frame, and then it will show you the different testing places that are available, and it's showing me the first 3 on here. I can say more dates, and what I can do is usually it gives you about a week ahead, so don't think you can book like a month ahead. Usually it's a week to 2 weeks ahead, and reservations get taken very, very quickly. So you need to kind of, if you know the date you're flying and it's within that window, grab a time slot on a day that works for you best, and you've got to do it by person. So if there's 4 of you, you're going to have to go through this 4 times. I did it with me and Maxine, and there's only 1 slot for each time. So usually I'll pick a time, fill in my details out, go back and do Maxine, and then if I do it in sequence, 1 test 15 minutes later is available. So if you're a family of 4, it's quite a lot of typing. So what I'd recommend is, if you're going to do this, get a computer. If you're staying in a hotel, you can usually have an office or some kind of place you go print your boarding passes. Do it from there. It's going to be much easier to do it from a computer than from a phone, for example. Though it can be done on a phone, don't get me wrong. If that's what you got, use it. But if you can get access to a computer, it might make it easier. So I'm just going to pick a random date. It's going to show me the testing locations that are available for my rapid test antigen in this case, and I'm going to select a time. And then what it does is take me to fill out the information, and this is typically what you're going to have to fill out here, which is your date of birth, saying if you are the patient, the parent of the patient, legal guardian, and then you put your details in, your address, and if typically if you're going to be staying in a hotel, you use the hotel address for that. Gender, it wants race and ethnicity. You can choose what you want to put in there, or you can just decline because you're in America. And then it's going to ask for an email address and a mobile number, and that's very important because your results will come through to your mobile and your email, and you'll click on a link to go and get the PDF. So it's very important that you use a good email or mobile number you know you can have access to do that. I authorize the clinic to share details. I would like to send it to my primary care physician. You can choose that, but I'll probably no, because you're going to have to put all the details in. Then there's government mandated questions. Have you received the COVID-19 vaccine? If so, how many? And as soon as you put it in, it asks what is it Moderna, is it Pfizer? If you know, put it in. And then if you've taken both doses, and then you have to put in the dates of both your doses. So hopefully you've got your cards with you, or you have that, but you're going to have to put in the dates. What they're checking here is that it was done, that it's legal, I should say, to do that. So put the dates in when you first received the dose. Is this your first time taking a COVID-19 test? No. Medical conditions, put them in there. Am I pregnant? No. Do I have health insurance? I'm going to say no in this case. It says that I understand if I fail to approve health insurance, I may be charged $139. So $139 is what you're going to pay. So there was that one we saw together there that was a little bit cheaper, but $139 is pretty much the cheapest you're going to find around here. If you find something cheaper, go get it. But from one of the big brand companies, what I've done my research, and if you find something cheaper, good for you. I couldn't in the time I was searching find anything cheaper, and on today, tomorrow who knows, but this is what you're going to do. It's asking for a driving license number. So what it actually did was you can skip that thing with your driving license or your social security number. It doesn't really bother about that, and it's I'm all signed up. It sent an email to me, so that fake email I put in there, it sent it in there, and it's put it. You can add it to your calendar, and it tells me the test. It tells me when it's going to be done. It gives me the confirmation code, and you need this code. Basically, this code will be emailed to you as well, and you need this code. Have it on your phone because they'll ask you that code, and that links all the glue together. It links all your email, your telephone number, so when they do the test, they will be able to send you the details of the test. And what it does is, as well on this, is these are through drive-throughs. So you go to the window, they'll put the test through the window, they'll tell you how to do it and what you do it. You do the test, you put it in a little test tube, you put it back in a box that's just outside the window and drive through. So it's literally 10 minutes on these drive-through ones. So that's it. And again, you see the button on here, it says schedule another person. So what you need to do is go and schedule another person for that particular test. Cancel my visit. So what I'm going to do is cancel a visit because I don't want to take that out when somebody else can have it. So I'm going to just say the time didn't work for me. I'll say other, first name, last name, confirmation code, cancel visit, and so that time has now been freed up for somebody else to use. So that was it, the visit has been cancelled. So that is how to register for a CVS pharmacy visit. Other ones are very similar. If you find one that's a better deal, go for it, but they'll typically ask for exactly the same things around your name, address, your vaccination dates, and an email address and a telephone number. In this case, you get a text message. The text message takes you to a PDF file. What I did then was upload the PDF file to Verifly. What you probably want to do as well is print out the results and take them with you to the airport for check-in as a backup, or keep the PDF on your phone as a backup. Again, if you're staying in a hotel, they'll have a business center where you can go down and you can actually usually print it out, or go to reception and ask them if you can email the PDF to, they'll give you an email address at receptionist, and they'll usually print it out for you as well. I've done that a few times when I've been traveling. There's another top tip for getting it done. So I hope it's useful. I know it's a lot of additional stress and things around this at the moment, but as I say, if you're over here, don't worry, you can get a test wherever. It's just a matter of picking one that I think is, within your budget, and not get ripped off at the end of the day. I mean, there's a lot of people out here who, take advantage of the situation. Let's not feed that. Let's stick with the brand names that we know are going to be reliable. But thank you very much for watching. I hope it was useful for you and it answered a few questions. If you have any more questions about testing and things like that, just comment below. Try and answer all your comments. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you like our channel, please like and subscribe. And because Mrs. Theme Park Baz is up there, I will see thee later. Bye.